This is Emergency Quarantine Outbreak Advice 9, issued by the Chilicorp Department of Biological and Material Hazards, issued at 1:35 p.m. on December 25th, 2025. The quarantine warning across the region of Horton has expanded to surrounding areas as the humbug outbreak continues to spread south following the closure of emergency checkpoints 4, 8, and 13. All residents within the region of Horton are reminded to stay indoors, barricade passageways and windows, and avoid all contact with contaminated persons. Symptoms of humbug contamination include yellow eyes, overgrown eyebrows, a green mossy fur growing on the skin, and a high level of aggression when exposed to high temperatures, bright lights, and noise. All evacuation centres, excluding Checkpoint 15, will not be accepting any more refugees. Chilicorp security teams have been authorised to use lethal force. For updates on the ground, we have Security Overseer Kadari speaking from Checkpoint 9. Kadari?
Hang on, sorry. Move that ball over there. Ask 6 if you need anything else. I gotta go talk to these guys. Yep, sorry. Could you say again?
Can you give us an update on the current situation inside the quarantine zone?
We just entered into a Category 5 containment protocol at the moment, so all checkpoints within a 20-kilometer radius of Whoville have been locked down and no longer accepting refugees. The humbug has spread at a much higher rate than anticipated, and we've used most of the assigned ammunition trying to contain the contaminated, and their violence and ferocity has only increased with the exposure to gunfire and ordnance, and we've compensated accordingly. But despite our situation, cooperation is still key to containing the spread of the fungus, and all citizens are urged to stay barricaded indoors for their own safety.
And do we yet have a clearer picture as to the cause of the humbug outbreak?
Yep. Bio teams have traced the outbreak to a Whoville miner named Cindy Lou. She came into direct contact with an alpha grinch, and the humbug fungus transferred to her at roughly around 11 p.m. to midnight, Christmas Eve. From there it spread throughout the city while many residents were still sleeping and unprepared.
And what was a Grinch doing inside Whoville? It's not normal for them to enter urban areas, is it?
Not at all. Grinches prefer cold, dark caves further north where they can feel safe and hibernate. However, we believe recent increases in global temperatures have been warming the polar regions and forcing the Grinch further south and into the Whoville area. We've still been unable to locate the Alpha Grinch, however containing the spread of the outbreak remains our top priority.
And what about the Grinch Alarm Center? Doesn't Whoville have systems in place to prevent this specific scenario?
That's not my department, sorry. The Whoville Council has paid us to contain the outbreak as they were unable to deal with the violent behavior of contaminated persons. Any comment or questions related to the Whoville government will need to be directed to them.
Okay. So what can be expected moving forward from here?
We're about an hour from a blanket sulfuryl-ditoxate bombing, which should eradicate all organic material in the affected areas. Then we'll have bio teams head in and purge any remaining contaminated material before finally rescuing survivors.
Sorry, what's sulfuryl-ditoxate for the viewers at home?
Sulfuryl-ditoxate, more commonly known as crocodile gas, is an acidic gas that burns through any organic material or fiber. It's more reliable and less destructive than napalm in this scenario, and is our best bet to containing the outbreak quickly.
And what if survivors still inside the quarantine zone? Aren't they going to be affected by this gas?
Correct. If civilians wish to increase their odds of surviving a crocodile gas strikes, then they should take cover as far below ground as possible, preferably in an area with no outdoor ventilation. If there is ventilation connected to the outside, they should be covered with metal or plastic. Citizens themselves should cover themselves in plastic material or thick clothing and wear gas masks and protective goggles. If any part of the body makes contact with gas particles, they should resist all urges to scratch the affected areas. Physical restraint is recommended if